Evening, everyone. Welcome back to Project Illuminations. A little bit of a, I don't know what you call this, late night rant. It's almost 2 a.m. here. And, well, this one, I guess, doesn't have a specific theme like for Valentine's Day. Well, I guess it kind of does. If you're still listening to me ramble here. So, I've been trying to make a habit of doing recordings mostly when I'm in a good mood, when I feel ready to talk about it. And to be honest, that seems a little off to me because this isn't about when you're feeling good, when you're feeling happy. This is also about when you're not feeling the best. And I'm kind of forcing myself to do this a bit here late at night. The tiny terror is asleep. It's just me. And well, to be honest with everyone, I'm in a bit of a malaise tonight. I'm not entirely myself. And here I am talking to you guys. Now, there is a point to all this. There is a point. And here's my point. We don't feel like ourselves 100% of the time. Sometimes we don't feel like ourselves even 50% of the time or less. And that's okay. Yeah, it's not a very good feeling. That feeling that you just don't want to anymore. That you just don't care. And that's a little bit how I'm feeling tonight. It's not as bad as it gets sometimes. And usually I kind of feel it coming up. I'll start feeling down, and then it's kind of like a rising tide. It just slowly comes up and bites me in the ass. Now, the thing is, yes, these happen. And I have a lot of experience with them, so I deal with them fairly well, I think. Sometimes I do better than others, sometimes I don't. I'm not going to say I'm perfect, nobody is. But you got to keep trying. Because things are going to get better. And part of my way of coping when I'm feeling like this is talking. Not necessarily even to people. I will shutter myself away and just talk to myself sometimes. I know that might sound a little weird to you, but that is a way I cope with things. And now, here I am talking to you guys. And honestly, it makes me feel just a little bit better to share with you guys how I'm feeling, to share that, yeah, I am down. And it'll go away after a while, and I know this. But that doesn't change the fact that somewhere in my head, I have a worry that it won't. I do worry that it's going to stay the same. And this is where we get to the point where we have an emotional and a logical side of our brain. Now, The logical side of my brain says, yeah, you're going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. This has happened before, and it's always been fine. But I've got this screaming emotional brain there that constantly worries and says, well, what if it isn't this time? What if this? What if that? And emotions are a good thing. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise, no matter who you are. Do not be afraid to show your emotions, because if you lock them away, that's just a whole big mess waiting to just explode all at once. I know from experience. It's hard sometimes, especially if you were raised that, oh, well, you be a big boy, don't cry about it, don't be a crybaby, toughen up. No. Emotions are there for a reason. And that reason is so you know what is going on. Yeah, I've heard of, oh, push through the pain. And you can do that. You can do that to a degree. But at some point, there's just so much that you keep pushing down that your body will not be able to take it anymore. And I have a bad habit of doing that. Always have. And I struggle with it all the time. It is hard for me to talk and hard for me to express feelings. And a lot of the time, I try to joke my way out of everything. I try not to take anything seriously. And this frustrates people. And I do understand it, but at the same time, it's a coping mechanism my brain has worked out for itself. And I know I'm not the only one out there with this same coping mechanism, and everyone has their own. A lot of the time, you don't even realize what you're doing. And a big part of mental health is being cognizant of how you are feeling. Being aware of your own emotions, of what is going on inside of you. Because you have to pry into those feelings, and you have to understand what is going on. Because if you try to hide it, if you try to bury it, it's going to come out sooner or later. So, again, I did ask for your stories, and we will get around to those. But I also wanted to send out a request to you, people watching this. I'd like to hear how you cope with things. When you're feeling down, when you're depressed, when you're just worried about something. I'd like to hear how you handle that. Because I don't want this to be all about me, which, yeah, so far it is. We're going to change that. So, for me, if I can get her to come in here. Forgot to mute my phone. Go figure. For me, there's a lot that kind of helps me throughout the day here and there, and well, sometimes I do meditation. I will sit there and calm, relax, and I'm not any kind of certified professional in it or anything, but that helps sometimes. If I can get her to come in here. Oh no! Hi, pretty lady. Come on. Oh no. Come here. Come on. Alright, fine, don't come up. And here's the thing. When you're feeling down and you don't feel comfortable talking to a person, let's say, you don't necessarily have to talk to a person. Talk to your pet. She's not coming up here so you can see her, huh, Onu? Talk to yourself. Talk to a pillow, or Another thing I found, some people that it helps them write down your feelings. Make a journal. Because if you start to understand yourself, you'll be better able to. Words. The better you understand yourself, the better you can understand others. And the better you will feel. I'm not saying it's going to fix all your problems. But just putting it out there and talking about it can be a big help. Because at some point you've got to admit to yourself that I'm not okay. And that is one of the hardest things I have ever had to admit to myself. That I was struggling. That I was not okay. And even now, years later, I still have trouble with this. There is no be-all, end-all answer. And you really got to do and find something that works for you. And there is a lot of resources out there that can give you some help. Whether that's your family, a doctor's office. There is no shame in seeing a therapist. There's no shame in it whatsoever. There's no shame in talking to anyone about this kind of thing. If you need help, reach out. To friends, to family. If you want to talk to me, I will listen. Just let me know, and we can either correspond, via chat, we can talk via voice, whatever. If you need somebody, find someone. And I will be here as much as I can for anybody who needs help. I can't say that I will be the best at it, but I will listen. And I will give you my honest opinion on things. Now, as far as myself goes, yes, I'm a little down. I'm a bit depressed. I do know it's gonna get better. And I have people to talk to. And I know it works. I know talking helps. And I'm not always the best at it. And you don't have to be. What you gotta do is try. And here's a little challenge for all of you watching this right now. Because not everyone shows that something is wrong. Some people can look perfectly happy and you wouldn't even know. Sorry about that cut there. My computer decided to shut itself down. Gotta love technology. Anyways, where were we? Challenge, yes. Sometimes the happiest people you know are the most depressed. And they force themselves to appear happy, and they try their best to not show the world that it's hurting them. So here's my challenge to you. I want you to go find just one person, doesn't matter who. I want you to look at them and ask them one simple thing. Ask them, are you okay? Those 3 simple words can change a life. I know it might not seem like it, but just the simple action of asking somebody, are you okay, can go a huge way to helping somebody out. There's been so many times in my life that I wish somebody had asked me. So many times that I've been hurting and dying inside, and I just wanted somebody to show they cared. So, here's my question for you, for anybody watching this. Are you okay? And if the answer is no, do you want to talk about it? Let me know, everyone. And I'll see you in the next one. From here at Project Illuminations HQ, somewhere in the world, you guys have a good evening. And take care of each other. And remember, it's okay to feel emotions. It's okay to admit to yourself that things are not perfect. It is okay to admit that things are not perfect. I want to stress that. So again, have a good night, everyone. Shine a light on the world, and I'll see you in the next one.